everyone, T is here and welcome back. Now, I am so excited about this next video series, Delegation for Success. Because as business owners, sometimes we can find our business becoming stagnant. Or maybe we feel like it just stopped progressing altogether. You have set goals, you have dreams for your business, but it seems it's just not getting quite there yet. Well, I believe that delegation could be the key of holding back your dreams you had when you started your business. Now, I know as business owners, we take pride in our ability to juggle many tasks at a time. We know we have the skills. We know we have the work ethic to get things done. And it's hard to put trust in others to do it for us. But the truth is, we're wearing a lot of hats to get it all done. And in order for us to take our business to the next level and truly realize our dreams, we're going to have to put our exceptional leadership skills to work and put those hats on someone else's head. So these next video series on Delegation for Success is going to give you the knowledge. It's going to give you some tools to find the right hats to remove, the people to put them on, and the right process to follow for awesome results. Now, Ray is going to give you a brief outline on what to expect in this next video series.
Delegating for success. Yeah, T and I both believe this is one of those things that if you can master in your business, you're going to find growth, success, and reach the vision that you've set out for yourself. A lot of times you'll find yourself in a position where you're doing too much or you're wearing too many hats. And that's okay. Sometimes you have to start out like that. But in order to get the growth that you envision for your business, you need to learn to delegate some of those tasks, functions of your business. You need to remove some of the hats and put them on somebody else. And you want that to lead to a successful outcome, but that's difficult for us to do. We're going to start this micro course by going through what we call the Stack of Hats worksheet. And that's going to answer a few questions for us. Number one, what hats are we wearing? And by hats, we mean either functions of the business or tasks that we've taken on. So it's good to start out by looking at all the things that you're doing because it might surprise you. And as time goes by from startup to growth in your business, what you find is you've hung on to a lot of the tasks that you don't need to anymore. Maybe in the beginning it was necessary, required for capital reasons, or because that you were learning how to do it, or maybe you're just the only person that could do it at the time. But as you grow your business, you need to take stock of what it is that you're doing. So it's listing out the tasks and functions that you're performing as the business owner, or the hats that you're wearing. And we envision this as a large stack of hats on your head. And that large stack of hats can be heavy, and it can lead to some things like overworked, stressed, lack of results because of that. And our goal here is to help you remove some of them. So step one is, what hats am I wearing? And then we move on to step two, which is, what hats should I be wearing? So this is a time where you can look at, what is it that I really love to do in conjunction with the rest of the functions in the business? Where's my spot going to be? And it may change over time. Maybe at one point you're the main producer of the service or product, and then you move into the marketing area and focus on marketing, and then you move into sales or strategy, and then at some point maybe you're just the leader and that's what you do, and you have somebody in all the other positions. But the point is, right now, here and now, as well as into the future, what hats should you be wearing? And that's going to help you at least set aside, for categorization purposes, the ones that should be going to somebody else. And that brings us to our third step, who should be wearing the hats. So you've identified the ones that you should probably hold on to, at least for now, and maybe have a plan for the ones you're going to hold on to into the future. But then who should be wearing the rest of them? And this is where we start getting into the delegating process and looking at how you should take those tasks or business functions and move them to somebody else. Put the hat on somebody else's head. And in order to do that effectively and come up with the outcomes that you expect, you need to follow a good process that will get you there. And that's what we cover in the next section of this micro course. The next step in this process is the Delegate for Success checklist. And this just walks you through 6 steps to create an effective process so that you can delegate tasks and functions and have the outcomes that you expect. And this can be done in preparation for delegating, but also to help you walk through the process as you are doing it in real time with the person that you're going to delegate the task to. The first step is to identify the roadblocks to letting go. And this could be a number of things, like you don't trust somebody else to do it, it's a really important task, you can't let somebody else make any mistakes, or it's something that you just don't have the time to teach somebody else or the capital to bring on somebody else to do it. So identifying why you're keeping that hat on versus putting it on somebody else's head is the place to start. And then from there, you need to look at setting the tone. And setting the tone is really putting the criteria together as to how this task needs to be, the parameters, let's say. Is it something that has no room for error? No mistakes can be made, or it's going to, really mess up customer relations or effectively, harm some part of the business. So it has a really tight margin for error. Or is it one that you can allow somebody to put in some of their own creative juice and make some errors, maybe something that you'd be okay with, the outcome being a little different than what you expected in the beginning or what you had been doing. But setting the tone is really going to be something that you use to help communicate the goal really, really well to the person that you're delegating this task or function to. And then setting the goal, communicating the goal, taking and saying, here's what the outcome is that I'd like to see from this task or this function, and really defining that really well so that when you go into the delegation process, you have a really good set of expectations that you can put out there. Because I think a lot of these things fail because you don't have a clear expectation of what you'd like the end product to look like. And then you're going to provide the tools and teach the process. Because when you take a task that you've been doing and you put it on somebody else, you have to make sure that you've also included the right tools for them to do the job and teach them the process that you've been using to do it. Now, allow them sometimes, if the tone is such that you can allow them to put some of their own spin or creativity or personality into it, then do so, because it gives the other person some ownership. And then determine what the checkpoints and approvals are going to be. If you give somebody a task to do for you, you need to set the expectation of how often you want them to check in, or how often you'll be checking in with them, and how much of it needs to be approved before they move on to the next step. For example, you may not want something delivered to a client, at least in the beginning, until you've approved that. But having that established ahead of time removes that possibility of there being an error or a miscommunication. And then the final step is evaluate the outcomes. So look at the end product and say, yes, this was perfectly exactly what I was expecting, or these 3 things are great, but these 2 need to be improved a little bit or changed a little bit so that it meets the expectations that I have, and get that feedback loop going so that as time progresses, whatever task or function you've delegated turns into something that you would like to see it turn into, or maybe even better. So again, we'll be walking through the stack of hats and the Delegate for Success checklist. And those 2 areas should get you from overwhelmed, weighed down with a big stack of hats, to feeling pretty light and able to grow your business and focus on the things that are the most important for you to be focusing on. T's right, this is going to be good, this is going to help you, and I have no doubt it's going to be a very fun several weeks to come.
Thank you so much, Ray. Now, I told you all it's going to be action-packed, didn't I? This video series It's going to be full of good content. We have developed new worksheets for you to download to follow along with us. So check those out. Now, in order to get access of the new videos and worksheets on Delegation for Success, you have to be a member and join my Facebook group. You will only have access to the videos. You will only have access to the worksheets in the Small Business Microcourse Facebook group. Every Thursday is going to be the place to be, and I know you will enjoy it. It's full of information that you can start implementing in your business immediately. The habit of delegation helped my business. It helped my business expand. It helped my business grow, and I know it will help yours as well. So let's get ready to grow our business, entrepreneurs. So I see you next Thursday in my Small Business Microcourse Facebook group. Don't miss it. Bye-bye.